We are less than 1 month from Rogue One. Are you excited, Dave?
Woo! I bought my tickets today.
Oh, so then actually no one cares if you're excited anymore because Lucasfilm has your money.
I can get it back.
Well, they probably don't care if you're excited, but I'm excited, and the internet is excited.
Yes.
Is Star Wars the one with the little wizard boy?
And if you follow Pablo Hidalgo...
Various toy manufacturers are very excited.
That's true, and Walmart's. Yes. If you follow Pablo Hidalgo online...
I do not.
He is on Twitter. He's...
Wait, isn't that the guy that used to work for you at Lucasfilm?
That's not important right now.
Didn't you used to share an office with him?
That's not important right now.
So you're kind of making it sound like this is just something you stumbled across, when in fact this is an old friend of yours that...
So anyway, if you follow Pablo on Twitter, and if you don't know who he is, he's part of the story group at Lucasfilm, who sort of manages all of the various books and novels and games and movies and all that kind of thing. And he recently tweeted, I'll put it up on the screen, an important scene worth a rewatch in the coming weeks for several reasons.
Okay.
And he had a picture of the scene in the Death Star where Tarkin and Vader come in and they have a little meeting.
Like, you better watch this or else.
Well, that's how I'm taking it.
Like, how many kids do you have? That's how many reasons there are to watch this scene. Get moving.
That's right.
That's how I'm taking this.
So that's why I've called you here, because we are gonna watch this scene. We're gonna follow his advice.
Well, I'm always down to watch some Star Wars. Let's watch some Star Wars.
We'll watch this scene and we will try and figure out exactly why
You got it all queued up. All right, let's do this.
Why this is an important scene worth watching.
By the way, Star Destroyers, coolest spaceship ever in any sci-fi thing ever.
They're just big triangles.
You're a big triangle.
Triangle in a circle.
There's a bunch of circles. I'm trying to watch
Until
this.
this battle station is fully operational, we are vulnerable. The Rebel Alliance is too well equipped. They're more dangerous than you realize.
Dangerous to your Starfleet, Commander, not to this battle station.
Ooh, they're getting kind of catty in the meeting. So the Empire considers the rebellion to be a big, big threat.
Yes.
This is not just a band of schmoes.
No, this is not the kind of laughable efforts from Rebels, the cartoon series.
Right. In Rebels, it's just pockets of little people here and there who you wouldn't think the Empire was too concerning. Also, he implied there that somehow the Rebels were a threat to the Starfleet.
Yes. So, hey, maybe we get to see like an actual battle of some kind, or something like maybe sabotage. They take down a Star Destroyer. They prove that they are able to take down.
That would be awesome.
Mainline Imperial ships. Yes, that would be awesome.
So maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's the foreshadowing. We'll see.
The rebellion will continue to gain a support in the Imperial Senate.
The Imperial Senate will no longer be of any concern to us. I have just received word that the Emperor has dissolved the Council permanently. The last remnants of the old Republic have been swept away.
Oh, there you go.
So prequel haters will be excited that the Republic is gone.
Yes.
The Rebels have had some access to the Senate.
Well, the Senate existed as a body, like we saw in the prequels, where you have thousands of people who presumably can vote on things.
Sure, but they were getting sympathy.
Yeah, it would make sense that there would be people in the Senate who don't like the direction the Empire is heading and are kind of like the threat that Palpatine originally was voted all of these crazy, unconstitutional powers to deal with.
Right.
I.e. the Clone War is long over.
Yeah, so it makes sense that he would want to get rid of that. Obviously, that's what Julius Caesar did.
And yes, many people in history.
Warning for spoilers, although Dave and I know literally less than nothing about this movie, so whatever.
I don't really count this as a spoiler. If it's the cast list for a movie, I don't call that
no.
a
So
spoiler.
you see where I'm going with this. So if there's maybe Bail Organa is still in the Senate, we don't know. Jimmy Smits is going to be in the movie.
Well, Bail Organa, when the Senate exists, presumably would be, because he's a senator,
right?
And he's neck deep in the rebellion, because we know that from the existing movie.
We also know that maybe he's on Alderaan when Alderaan blows up.
Yeah,
which is like a few days later from this scene. If the Emperor disbands the Senate and he goes sulking home to Alderaan, that's bad timing.
Also, presumably, we're going to see something within Rogue One, a Star Wars story, that precipitates this. The thing that finally gives Palpatine that last little bit, like maybe senators or somebody political helping out the rebellion directly, or doing something within the, that's kind of like, well, this has finally given me the excuse I need to just do away with the whole Senate
Right.
entirely, and now the Moffs, the planetary governors, can.
Also, interestingly, these guys in this meeting didn't know about it. They maybe don't have a TV, CNN in this room or
They're
whatever.
super busy building a battle station. They don't got time
They
to go
can't be
watch
that busy. It took them 19 years to finish the thing.
That's well.
Possible. How will the Emperor maintain control without the bureaucracy?
The regional governors now have direct control over their territories. Fear will keep the local systems in line. Fear of this battle station.
And what of the rebellion?
So maybe we'll see some regional governors in
Yeah,
Rogue
presumably
One
we'll see some kind of.
clamping down, obviously, on these systems.
Yeah.
If the rebels have obtained a complete technical readout of this station, it is possible, however unlikely, that they might find a weakness and exploit.
There's a spoiler alert. They do. So here's a spoiler for 3 Star Wars movies. They do find a weakness in the giant battle station and find a way to destroy it.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
it.
The plans you referred to will soon be back in our hands.
Any attack made by the rebels against this station would be a useless gesture, no matter what
That is
technical
wrong.
data they've obtained.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Maybe.
Okay, can we just talk about that guy behind him for a second there?
Yeah.
The guy in the white uniform. Obviously,
Yes.
we never, in the expanded universe, which no longer, was now Legends, which doesn't matter anymore. You know,
Right.
we had explanations for the white uniform guys. But
Yes.
we know
They were, for people who don't know, they were Grand Admirals.
they were Grand Admirals.
There were 12 of them, and they were like the top Imperial Navy guys.
Now we have one Grand Admiral Thrawn. We also have one of the white uniforms in the trailer. So we know that we're going to see more of those. Presumably we'll get a better insight as to what this is doing. We don't know if this dude behind Tarkin or here is a Grand Admiral.
No.
While we're looking around the room, I'm also curious. There's a few empty chairs in this meeting. Maybe there's people conspicuously absent who should have been here, and we'll see them in Rogue One.
I'm just going to go ahead and assume that the smaller meeting room was already booked by Phil in accounting. So this is all.
Damn it, Phil. No one goes to Phil's meetings anyway.
Maybe you should spend less time booking meetings and more time finishing that Goldman file, Phil. We need that before next quarter. Damn it, Phil.
Fortunately for Phil, all those deadlines go away when the Death Star blows up.
Yeah, well, unless he's on the Death Star. In which
Oh, no, he dies, but the deadlines also die with him.
bad luck, Phil.
I suggest we use it.
Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed.
That's pretty
The ability to destroy a planet is insignificant next to the power of the...
It's still a pretty good power. Jedis are pretty kick-ass. But I saw a lot of them get, just shot by robots. So
It's true.
it's
Before we get too far into the Force thing, though, I just also want to point out that these guys are anxious to try out their shiny new toy. Like they've clearly never used the turbo laser, which I know that's established in F4 here.
Yeah,
that Alderaan's the first. But I guess
presumably there was some kind of test firing on a rock or an asteroid or something. You don't build a weapon and just be like, well, this nuclear bomb's probably good. Let's go, to Japan.
you don't. But also, hopefully they give us a good reason why in the trailers they're lowering the super laser onto the Death Star, like just during the events of Rogue One.
Yeah.
And so, but we saw them start to build this thing in Episode 3. There was Vader got his new suit, and then he was looking out the window, and they started building.
Did they actually show it being built in Episode 3?
Yeah, it actually happened. They had a stand-in for Tarkin, and
Super
it was
weird that I don't remember that.
It is weird. I know. Not every detail of Episode 3 sticks in your head.
I remember Anakin acting super out of character for no reason, and then Darth Vader's a big whiny bitch.
Right, and then Padme died of a broken heart.
Yes. Science. And also, love is the great enemy.
So more related to Rogue One, they've been building this thing for a long, long time. So anyway,
Maybe there was a horrible accident. Maybe we're only,
maybe
1,200 days
it's true.
since our last prototype was accidentally destroyed.
They had a few setbacks,
Probably by Phil.
probably by Phil, and probably.
But Phil's in the Union, so...
Well, and they have no freaking railing in this thing, so probably a lot of,
You know what?
workers' comp suits.
They used to have railings, but this is like the third Death Star in now, so they're just like, screw it. You don't get railing. If this one works and you finish it, then you guys get railing.
All right, let's get back to the Force.
Force.
Don't try to frighten us with your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader. Your sad devotion to that ancient religion has not helped you conjure up the stolen data tapes, or given you clairvoyance enough to find the rebels' hidden fortress.
Oh, sick burn.
So, Vader, you don't want to go to a meeting with Vader.
No. Certainly don't want to go to a meeting with Vader and just start bad-mouthing him in front of...
Is this his first meeting with Vader?
It could be. Could be. I mean, the Empire's a big place.
Perhaps along with the Senate, they swept away the HR department.
Yeah.
These guys were old enough to have seen the Clone Wars.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So
they would be personally familiar with Jedi.
They've seen Jedi.
Yeah.
If not only on the news.
And presumably if they're in the higher echelons of the Imperial military, they were, people who were of some kind of position of authority 19 years ago.
Right. Well, that dude, he's 80 years old.
Yeah.
He was...
it's like you don't become a big, like the head, a general in an army in
right.
12
So they've
years,
all
right?
seen Jedi. And it's now reduced somehow in these 19 years to superstition.
Well, they're towing the party line, right?
I guess so. Propaganda works, I guess.
Yeah.
Although, I hear maybe we're going to see in Rogue One, maybe we'll see part of some
Maybe
kind
that
of
guy
cult.
in the white is from the Thought Police.
That's
so
right.
You got to watch what you say.
So if you're a big enthusiast of the Force and that kind of stuff, you're like a flat earther or a 9/11 truther. You're just kind of looked down on.
Yeah. Is that, hope you weren't bucking for middle management because
Right.
that ain't happening.
That's you and your wacky ideas.
Have fun in the mailroom.
Right. Except I got choked in the meeting.
Well, this guy, that was just rude.
Tarkin's really bloodshot.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Enough of this. Vader, release him.
As you wish.
I also never really understood why.
That means Vader loves him.
Let's not go. Okay.
Why does Vader listen to Tarkin?
Yeah. Why is Vader listening to Tarkin here? Like, why is he taking orders from Tarkin?
The hierarchy seems muddled here.
Yeah.
Although I guess we're going to see Vader in...
This was early days, too, when things weren't quite as settled as they are.
Right. But it shouldn't be a spoiler to anyone that Vader is going to be in Rogue One briefly.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll also find out what the...
And I guess there's not, Vader isn't necessarily under Tarkin's direct command here. He might just be like, hey, come on, man.
Right.
And he's like, fine.
There's a lot of paperwork when you
Yeah.
strangle a guy.
Just like, dude, I'm trying to run a meeting here.
Right.
Phil's got this room in 20 minutes. We need to get this.
It's true.
This bickering is pointless. Now, Lord Vader will provide us with the location of the rebel fortress by the time this station is operational. We will then crush the rebellion with one swift stroke.
How do they know the rebels have a fortress?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering the same thing. So apparently they're giving these rebels a lot of credit. They can blow up our whole Starfleet and they must have a fortress somewhere.
Yeah, well, you can blow up Star Destroyers. You probably have a fortress.
And obviously they go from Yavin 4 to Hoth.
Yeah.
So these rebels are downgrading quickly from Fortress.
They have a rough go. No, I don't want to spoil the movies, but things don't go great between A New Hope.
It's true. If you haven't seen, not only this scene should you watch, if you haven't seen, these other Star Wars movies, those would also be good to watch before you see Rogue One. All right. Well, now I'm more excited about seeing Rogue One, I guess. We're going to get some questions answered about this very riveting meeting.
Yeah.
I hope we have a lot of meetings in.
I'm really looking forward to figuring out
That's the best part of the
what
prequels.
Phil's up to.
That's true. Phil, the accountant.
Yeah. Presumably we get to see the origin of the Golden File.
All right. Everyone, Rogue One, December 16th. See you then.
I'll be there.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss anything. Then click on the video playing. It's great, and let's be honest, you're not doing anything important right now.